In the headlines, National Teleconference on the task of building, perfecting and executing the law. National Assembly Chairwoman Nguyễn Thị Kim Ngân and deputies of Cần Thơ City contacted voters in Cái Răng and Phong Điền District after the 10th section of the 14th National Assembly. Resolution for stipulating the rules, criteria and norms for the allocation of public investment capital from the state budget phase 2021-2025 was promulgated. Hello and welcome to Cần Thơ News of Cần Thơ Radio and Television Station and Top News Today. On the morning of November 24, Politburo member Prime Minister Nguyễn Xuân Phúc chaired the National Teleconference on the task of building, perfecting and executing the law. Attending the conference were representatives of ministry, concerned central departments and representatives of people committees of 63 cities and provinces.
In the period 2016-2020, the legal system of Vietnam is constantly improving. Almost all areas of social life have governing legal documents, fully and fundamentally institutionalizing the party's lives. The quality of the legal system has many positive changes, basically ensuring consistency before promulgation. The openness and transparency of the legal system have gradually been raised. Law enforcement work has been concerned by the party committees and authorities at all levels and has achieved initial results. Law dissemination and education have been reformed, initially applying science technology to communication to bring the law to life quickly, effectively, economically, so on and so forth. Prime Minister Nguyễn Xuân Phúc emphasized that the solutions in the coming time continue to fully grasp in time and strictly organize the implementation of the party's undertakings and guidelines. Institutionalized legal regulations, the Ministry of Justice, the judiciary should continue to promote the role of a guiding agency in law building, perfecting and law enforcement of the government. Authorities, ministries, departments must closely, proactively and continue to improve higher predictability of the quality of legislative and regulatory programs in the upcoming term of the National Assembly.
On November 24, National Assembly Chairwoman Nguyễn Thị Kim Ngân, Head of the City National Deputies Delegation Trần Quốc Trung, Vice Head of the Delegation for Specialized Tasks Nguyễn Thanh Xuân, Chairman of Cần Thơ University Council Dr. Nguyễn Thanh Phương, and member of the Permanent Board, come Head of the Mass Mobilization Board of the City Party Committee Trần Thị Vĩnh Nghi, contacted voters in Cái Răng and Phong Điền District after the 10th section of the 14th National Assembly.
After hearing the deputy head of the National Assembly delegation of Cần Thơ City briefly informed about the results of the 10th session of the 14th National Assembly, as well as the activities of Cần Thơ National Assembly delegation at the meeting, voters of Cái Răng district expressed their pleasure at the session's success, especially appreciating the discussions and questions of the deputies of Cần Thơ National Assembly. In addition, voters proposed the Centre to adopt an investment policy on infrastructure development for the Mekong Delta. In addition, voters also asked the National Assembly and the government to direct Vietnam Electricity to study and consider the collection of electricity bills through bank accounts because it causes difficulties for people, especially people in rural areas. Some other issues, National Assembly Chairwoman Nguyễn Thị Kim Ngân noted and suggested local leaders consider and resolve according to their competence. For larger issues, the delegation will absorb and submit to the National Assembly in the next session. On the afternoon of the same day, National Assembly Chairwoman Nguyễn Thị Kim Ngân and the committees contact voters in Phong Điền District. The National Assembly Chairwoman recognizes and appreciates their comments, simultaneously informs national socio-economic development, the happenings as well as the prevention and control of COVID-19 in Vietnam and the world.
Chairman of Cần Thơ City People's Committee Trần Việt Trường signed the statement number 180 submitting to the City People's Council on promulgating the resolution stipulating the rules, criteria and norms for the allocation of public investment capital from the state budget phase 2021-2025.
The resolution aims to ensure the proper implementation of the regulations in the formulation, submission and approval of investment procedures for programs and projects under the medium-term public investment plan period 2021-2025, especially the allocation of public investment capital to districts. The new resolution will include 7 articles. There are 4 parts to content, including sectors and fields using public investment capital, general principles of capital planning allocation from city, department to districts. Capital allocation criteria and norms are currently based on the criteria that calculates the score for each district department, thereby sensible balancing and allocating capital.
On the afternoon of November 23rd, Chairman of Cần Thơ City People's Committee Trần Việt Trường received and worked with the European Union Ambassador to Vietnam, Pier Giorgio Aliberti. Welcoming the ambassador to Cần Thơ, Mr. Trần Việt Trường introduced the strength of the city and its role as a center of Mekong Delta region. To November 2020, there are 85 FDI projects in Cần Thơ City with total investment capital of $752.43 million, including 8 projects with total investment capital of $73.08 million from the countries in the European Union. Cần Thơ City People's Committee highly evaluated the support that the European Union had towards the city and hope that the ambassador will assist the city in cultivating the relationship with the countries in the European Union in education, health, and the field of high technology. The European Union Ambassador to Vietnam, Pier Giorgio Aliberti, believed that the EU-Vietnam Free Trade Agreement has benefited Cần Thơ City greatly in agricultural products and seafood exports. At the same time, the ambassador highly evaluated the role Cần Thơ City has in the development strategy of Mekong Delta and informed that EU is preparing to carry out the assistance program phase 2021-2027 for developing countries with the aim of developing green economy and hope that the companies in Mekong Delta, especially in Cần Thơ, will have access to this assistance package. The report and consultation workshop on planning the Mekong Delta phase 2021-2030 vision to 2050 will be held this week in Cần Thơ City. At the press conference held on November 23rd, the Ministry of Planning and Investment informed that the plan for Mekong Delta region is the first regional plan that was established with the multidisciplinary approach of the law on planning, so the consultation with concerned parties is necessary. Through many rounds of consultation, there are still debates over 6 core contents, namely the determination of the role and position of Mekong Delta in the general national and international development, the relationship with Asian countries, the southeastern region and Ho Chi Minh City, the sub-region division plan, the decrease in rice paddy area, aquaculture development, central resource centers, and urban development orientation. These issues will be discussed at the workshop expected to be held on November 26 in Cần Thơ City. On November 24, Cần Thơ Department of Agriculture and Rural Development worked with Ben Tre District on the result of implementing Plan No. 5, dated January 11, 2018 of Cần Thơ City People's Committee on piloting urban agriculture models to tourism in Long Tuyền Ward, Ben Tre District, phase 2018-2020. 5 models piloted in Long Tuyền were planting vegetables in greenhouses, growing ornamental flowers, fish, mudlet eel, and lingy mushroom, with the highlight of developing ecotourism taking place in Phó Thọ Bamboo Craft Village for ornamental flowers. The models attracted 61 households with the implementation funds of 3 billion Vietnam dong, with 1.9 billion Vietnam dong assisted by the state budget. After 3 years of implementing, only the projects of growing ornamental flowers and mudlet eels have proven effective. The city requested the Department of Agriculture and Rural Development of Cần Thơ City to consult the City People's Committee with the continued assistance and multiplication for these models. Closing speech, Vice Chairman of Cần Thơ Agriculture Department Trần Thái Nghiêm requested the city to check and evaluate the results of implementing these models, specifying the disadvantages and proposing solutions. On November 24, Cần Thơ Department of Culture, Sports and Tourism held the opening ceremony for Cần Thơ City Football Championship 2020. Representatives of concerned departments and sectors of the city came for attendance.
This year, the championship has full participation of 9 districts. In the qualifying round, the draw teams are divided into 3 round rugby competitions on the moment-to-know course to select the top 3 teams, and the second place team with the best results in the semi-finals and final for ranking.
And now let's have a look at the weather forecast. That is all from us at Cần Thơ News today. To watch the bulletin again or for more information, please log on to our website at kenthtv.vn. And now thank you so much for being with us. Goodbye and see you next time.